What's up, guys?
Hey everyone,
It's Amala,
it's Risa,
and today we're going to be reacting to some TikTok dating advice.
and happy holidays, everyone.
Happy
Thanks for being
holidays.
patient as usual.
Now, there's no shortage of dating advice on the internet. I'm curious, have you ever Googled dating advice when you were younger or anything like that?
Because at my age, we had teen magazines. And
Mm-hmm.
so all the teen magazines had advice. And I just remember all of them saying, be confident.
I got internet access when I was 13 or 14 or whatever. You have a crush at school or whatever, and you're YouTubing how to know if a guy likes you, and it's some girl telling you if he really likes you, he's gonna point his feet towards you when he's talking to you. He's gonna go out of his way to touch your arm, that stupid stuff. I used to eat that shit up.
We should look up some magazine advice like that and see what they said in
What was it called?
95.
Like Tiger Beat. Have you ever?
Yes,
Tiger Beat?
Tiger Beat. There was Teen Vogue, J14.
I used to collect those like crazy because they'd have the Justin Bieber posters and Selena Gomez and stuff. Anyways,
those were great. Funny enough, I remember one magazine said, if you, this is it was targeted towards children, right? It said, if you ever run out of lip balm, just use a Skittle and use the red from your lip on your lip.
13-year-old me was smacking those Skittles, girl.
And squeezing your cheeks, putting the blush on.
It's amazing what we get up to as kids. But now, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, this younger generation has TikTok instead of teen magazines and old OG YouTube videos. So it's a whole new era of dating advice from millions of people at any given moment. And today we're going to react to some of that, see how much has changed, see if we agree or disagree with it. We're going to start with number one. This one is from a girl named Pearl. Not the Pearl you're probably all thinking of. Which
Not that Pearl.
Her dating advice is questionable.
When a man wants to go 50-50 with you on a date, do this. Oh my god. I'm so embarrassed right now. Wait, you wanted to just be friends? I'm so confused. This whole entire time I thought this was a date. Oh my god. Okay, I'm so sorry. Here's my card.
Okay, this got 1.5 million likes. So this resonated with a lot of women.
It's honestly funny.
It is.
It is really funny. And the thing is, that most women would not have the balls to do that.
Absolutely not. You'd have to be kind of up there as a woman to act like that on a first date, especially.
Yeah, and I don't even know how a man would react.
Ooh, it depends on the man that you have. I think you could intimidate a man into paying with that tactic. But if he's kind of really alpha masculine assertive, maybe that wouldn't work. But typically you don't have alpha masculine assertive men not paying for the first date.
Very true. So if you're someone who doesn't agree with paying on the first date, what would you say?
Yeah, if you're a man who goes for that vibe, drop it in the comments down below. I'm very curious. Would that tactic work on you? Would you be embarrassed? Would you hold your ground and say, no, we're going 50-50 on this? Because then you're just out at a standoff.
Yeah, it's definitely a petty tactic. I do think it would probably work, but not in a positive way.
Yeah, no, I don't think there'd be a second date with a little bit of reflection on that. I'm going to put this out already because I know we're going to get into this further into the video, but I'm not about games when it comes to dating and pre-prepared lines and these little tactics that women and men both use. Just be yourself. Just be real. Say what comes to mind. I get that a lot of people are not maybe confident enough, or they get anxious on dates and things like that, so they want pre-prepared things to do and look out for, but you gotta let that slide at some point. In my opinion.
It's because it's pretty obvious to most people if you're forcing it.
Yeah, someone who is self-aware will recognize it. Unless you're both, super anxious, both not very self-aware, then it's gonna work out fine. You're both gonna be doing little bits with each other all night, I guess. Okay. Number 2, some big sister advice.
Listen, dating is a game. If you're not playing, you're losing. If you're seeing a guy that you really like, he's not your boyfriend yet, you want him to be your man, but he's not yet, and you really like him, and guys that you really like, they're usually the good guys. He probably has a lot of stuff on your list that you're looking for, da-da-da. Guys like that, sometimes they have options. If you're seeing a guy and you know that he has options, you need to step your game up completely. You need to apply the law of assumption and declare that that man is going to be yours. He's going to be your boyfriend. You're going to make him yours. You need to assume it and step into character completely. This is how. You need to mark your territory at all costs. Stay with me. If he's a good guy, he's successful, he has a lot going on for himself, and you want him as your man, you need to claim him. You can do this by leaving little hints of yourself on his property. Leaving a bit of makeup on his shirt, leaving your lip glosses in his car, making sure your perfume scents linger, and the best of it all, leaving your stuff at his place, regardless of what that looks like. By that I mean, if you find someone else's stuff at his place, throw that shit out. If you find another girl's stuff, throw that shit out and replace it with yours. You need to take it upon yourself to get rid of it. And it's not time to start crying and yelling and whining to him, because he will discard you. If you want him, you need to claim your space, boo. Believe that he's yours and he's yours. Again, only do this if he's a good guy, not if he's toxic.
Oh my God. Ladies, if you see another bitch's stuff at his place, you run. You run. He is not a good guy.
Yeah.
If he has multiple toothbrushes, shoes, lip gloss at his place, you gotta go.
The door.
Yes.
See yourself out. Do
There's
yourself
no
a favor.
There's no strategy.
No, that's just like, it's a red flag, and it's a red flag that if you don't recognize it, handle it. And by handle it, I mean get out of the situation. It's going to appear later down the line in your relationship. I don't know what this delusional thinking is, that if you like leave lipstick on his shirt or leave stuff at his apartment, he's suddenly not going to be interested in the other girls that he's sleeping around with.
No, I mean, he's not even going to notice the makeup on his shirt. He barely cleans his socks.
Please. Let's just give a snap for that real quick. No, and I don't like, again, I'm going to say this. I don't like when people come to dating advice of like, you need to start playing the game. You need to put yourself in character. Notice how all of these things are like taking on a fake reality, a fake version of yourself, messing with people, trying to manipulate. This is just a manipulation tactics. It's not dating tactics. No. It's just not going to work out for you in the long run. Like, how long, if you decide to step into character and play the game, how long can you continue to do that for before your real self shines through, or their real self shines through? Is that what you want?
Yeah, it's so exhausting to not be yourself. Is that really what you want around your partner?
Right. And it might be harder to find somebody when you're truly being yourself, but do you want to waste your time just like faking it with random people just for the sake of companionship?
And I think we live in a culture where it's not actually about meeting somebody and finding your person. It's about playing the game and like having some one up on the opposite sex. It shouldn't be about that.
Yeah, I feel like older generations are looking at us like, what are you doing when it comes to dating? Nobody's really taking it seriously. You're referring to it as games. You're trying to manipulate one another, and it's not working out long term. So you need a new big sister. If this is your big sister dating advice. Number 3, and there's a guy in this video, so let's see what he has to say.
Go tell if a girl you're talking to likes you. So what you do is while you're having the conversation, you just casually take her hand. If she moves her hand back, that means she's not that into you. However, if you take her hand and she doesn't move away and she holds your hand and she mirrors that energy, that means that she's probably into you.
How do you feel about that?
You should not try to grab her hand if you are not 90% sure she likes you.
The first comment is, I did this and she called the cops. Which in today's time, you might not be far off there, buddy.
I wouldn't even try to physical touch until like the 3rd date.
You have to have a good read of the vibe. Yeah, I could see a man going to like touch your leg or touch your arm on a first date if you're like really doing well in conversation, you're vibing with each other, and he's maybe particularly assertive. But that's typically, if you're on a first date, it's because you already know the person is attracted to you in some way, you know?
Yeah. I honestly think touching the hand is too much on a first date, but like touching the shoulder, touching the back, when you're talking, touching the leg, like that's okay. If you know that they're feeling you.
I'm trying to think of like this situation. So he said, if you don't know if a girl likes you. So I'm imagining like you've just walked up to this girl, or maybe you've been friends with her for quite some time. There are other ways to figure out if a woman likes you before entering her physical space. You know, you can figure these things out through conversation, through inviting them to hang out, through asking them on a date, and you'll get just as clear of an answer as if you touch that person. But you don't come back from entering somebody's physical space when they don't want that space entered. I think once a woman has consigned you to the bubble of being like a creep, there's not much coming out of that. So try to figure out with conversation before you go just like grab somebody's hand without knowledge.
Yes.
Ladies, here are some tips for making any guy absolutely obsessed with you. Boys, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, and ladies, take some notes. When he's talking to you about something, whatever it is, like clearly he's interested in, okay? You're gonna just like look him in the eye, and when he's done talking, be like, tell me more about that. They're gonna be in love. Compliment him. Like, one compliment. Like, make it a good compliment, though. Like, make it fun, make it creative, have fun with it. But, like, guys are sluts for compliments because they never get them. Physical touch, babe. It's all in the physical touch, okay? Like, make your little leg touch his when you guys are sitting together. Grab his arm. When you go up to him, like, grab his neck or whatever. Just little things. Have fun with it. But he'll get tingly because you might get a little tingly. He's getting more tingly.
Oh, my goodness. Just grab him. I don't know about that. Same thing with physical touch, ladies.
Yeah.
Don't be grabbing necks out of nowhere.
And again, it's the language. You cannot make someone obsessed with you. You cannot. If they are not obsessed with you, you cannot make them obsessed with you. And you certainly can't do it by staring them in the eyes and going, tell me more about that. Like an NPC.
Yeah. Tell me more about that means that you couldn't come up with a comment or a question on what the other person says. And when somebody is a good conversationalist, they know how to do that. They know how to say either something that's their opinion or actually a decent comment about a story somebody said or something that they do rather than just being like, keep talking about it, please.
Right. Like, tell me more about that. Yeah, no, active listening is very important. And hopefully you are actively listening because you actually care what's coming out of their mouth, not so that you can like learn another manipulation tactic to make him obsessed with you. All of the talk around dating is just so strange to me. It's all about like obsession, infatuation. Claim him. He's yours forever. You have to manifest this man in your life when it's just like chill. Let's just naturally see if we like one another and go from there. And everything will happen naturally.
I mean, we live in a culture where like women like pray to their crystals and charge them, and they actually do believe that these things might work, or because they're this sign or whatever, like I have to do this and I have to understand this person because they're this moon thing.
You look like you're gonna put a hex on some popular girls.
They're gonna find Prince Charming or whatever and manifest, you know, the perfect man of their dreams in life. And I don't know. I feel like it's the delusion in some part is really messing up the dating scene in a lot of ways. Meanwhile, you're getting all this dating advice and men are scared of women.
Yeah, especially if you start grabbing in their necks.
I guess so. Just grabbing by the neck.
Do you know what men love? Do you know what men love? They're all going to disagree with me in the comments because they don't want me to tell you the truth. They love selfish women. There's some like kind of like they just love selfish women. And I mean selfish as in like self-focused, self-obsessed, almost like female narcissism in their like best way. Not in the clinical you're a narcissist way, but just self-preserving. They love it. Do you know that when I get treated by men the best is when I'm not thinking about them. The spotlight of my attention is not on them, but it's on me. Like when I'm sitting there and I get obsessed, like nails, right? These are my nails. It's not a set. These are them. I was like, oh my God, glazed donut nails or red nails, like Christmas glazed donut nails. He's calling me. Why is he calling me? I'm trying to Pinterest which nails I'm choosing. As soon as the focus of my attention goes onto myself and my like random self-obsessions.
She literally said 4 different words and acted like they all meant the same thing.
Right. Yeah. Selfish, narcissist, but in the healthy way. Focus on you and your own wants, needs, desires. I'm trying to like be charitable and say that maybe there's a little bit of truth in a man does not want a woman who's constantly obsessed with him, and she maybe wants a woman that has her own life and does put some amount of focus on that. But I don't think you have to go to like the full extent that she's describing in this video, where everything is like me. What are my nails going to be? What's my next makeup like look going to be in order to gain a man's attention? You might gain male attention in doing that because they don't want a woman who's constantly chasing after them and is clingy. But is that the right type of man for you?
Yeah, it's to a certain extent. Like I've always liked the term needing nothing attracts everything, but that doesn't mean being a selfish person.
Right.
And I think she said like self-focused. Like self-focused is different than selfish.
Right.
Or she said self-preserving. But yeah, I think we've talked about this before. If you focus on your own passions and your own hobbies and you're bettering your own life, usually people are just attracted to that in general.
Yeah, and when you find somebody who you want to share a relationship with who was attracted to that self-preserving, self-focused energy that you have, hopefully you fold them into that energy to some extent. I mean, that you have to foster relationships and care and, you know, listening to that person, wanting to be around them, wanting to know more about them. So maybe she was giving proper advice but just with the wrong sort of wording, and that's why it's not landing for me. But there's definitely a balance. I have never heard a man tell me that he wants a selfish woman. I can see like a man maybe sensing the energy that you're not currently interested in him at the moment and then being like, oh, hey, what are you doing right now? But is that the type of man that you want who like senses that the energy is not surrounding him and suddenly is trying to hang out with you? Probably not.
Yeah, the man that only wants you when you don't want him. You don't want that person.
Right. You want a guy who's like, oh yeah, I love the life that she's leading. I want to be a part of that. And you like the life that he's leading and you want to be a part of that to some extent. And it becomes something that you get to share. Not like, oh, he's out playing basketball with his friends and now I want to see him. And she's out getting her nails done and now I want to see her. That's just my 2 cents though. Maybe we're fucking nuts and we're perpetuating bad dating advice on the internet right now. From the horrible stuff that we learned from Tiger Beat magazines and J14.
Honestly, they were probably giving better advice, but
yeah,
we should do like a 90s dating advice video.
Yeah, where we try to like follow it. See what happens.
Oh God.
Reese is a single girl. We can send her out to the bars with the J14 magazine and see if the Skittles
think.
If the Skittles
I'm not putting
flush.
Skittles on my lips, guys. Awful as the candy eater. Like
Let us know down below if you want us to test that out.
Yes, and I know this was terrible advice, but that's why we wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, and hopefully through talking about it, we found some solid advice. You guys can let us know in the comments down below. Is there anything that we left out too? Is there anything that you would push back on or that you disagree with in these videos or in what we said? I'm curious.
Yes, we love your comments. I hope you had a great holiday.
We really do. And if you like this video, like,
subscribe,
and click the notification bell to be notified the next time we post for you guys.
And thanks for watching. We're excited for the new year.
We are.
Things are going to get bigger and better.
Yes, they are. And we hope that you're here for the journey with us. Peace out.